Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Just Life with Justice. Guys, I am so excited for this episode. I know I say that every episode, but really I am. Y'all, I just celebrated turning 26, so it was a beautiful weekend, not what I had expected. And if you guys are wondering, like, girl, why are you outside? Well, one of my birthday presents surprises was my sister had decorated my balcony, and so she made it into this beautiful study area. So, but with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into episode 11 of Wisdom Wednesday. This is going to act as our verse of the day, or our today's prayer verse. We're going to be in Ecclesiastes, and I'm going to read from chapter 3, verse 6. And it reads, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away. I really like the book of Ecclesiastes. Is so much wisdom in there. And it was assumed, and I'm going to say assumed, to be written by King Solomon, definitely about his life and his experiences and what he gained through the things that he's went through. So it's a lot of wisdom wrapped up in Ecclesiastes. Well, the beginning of chapter 3 of Ecclesiastes is all about time. And that is what we are going to be discussing today, guys. Time, and more time. So I don't know about y'all, but I have strong beef with time, okay? Like, me and time really don't get along, okay? Because one, I never have enough of it. I can't balance it. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to let go of it. And it's something that I can't control. I can't control time. Not having enough time and balancing time definitely go hand in hand. And I don't know if you guys are like me, right? But your girl is a busy girly. I am a busy girly. So I do work full time. I work outside of my full-time job. I also do Wisdom Wednesday, so I have to have time to study. We're also planning a wedding, so that also takes up our time. I don't know if y'all ever planned a wedding, honey. That is a full-time job. It's just a lot of things that are happening that occupy our time. And then also trying to make sure that we're spending time with each other and that we're spending time as a family, and that, you know, we're not giving each other the tired versions. You gotta preserve some energy. So it really becomes a thing of balance, right? The way that I strive and the way that I try to balance is I am a structured girly. I need organization in my life. So like, I have the same routine every morning, and I thrive on routine, and it's just how it's structured. Like, it makes sense to me. Every day I get up, and when I go to work, I create a daily agenda for all the tasks that I'm going to complete today, or I'll do it the day before, come in and do those things, right? And what happens is sometimes when you are so locked into this organization, to this list, to this thing that you're so used to doing, sometimes it's easy for us to forget God, right? It's so easy for us to kind of push him to the side. And it becomes a real difficult thing of learning to invite him in. Because one of the things that I used to say, especially as an excuse as to why I didn't read the Bible, why I chose to do the things that I did, was I don't have time to learn about God. Like, I don't got time for this, right? It's hard because I got this and this and this going on. I don't know if y'all ever heard this phrase, if he wanted to, he would, right? We always used to use that as a term of, like, for a guy, you know, if they were going to show up for you, they would do it, right? If they wanted to, if they wanted to, they would. It's the same thing for us, like holding us accountable. If we wanted to, we would. Right? Because we tend to make time for everything else. But sometimes when it comes to God, it's like, maybe if I have a little time in my day, I maybe could listen to the verse or something on the Bible app. You don't want you having to be organized and structured to override or overtake you being able to surrender to God or having that relationship with him. So what I personally would suggest, and what I have learned to do, was to invite God into my routines. I started inviting God into those routines in every aspect. And I promise you, when I first started, it was the weirdest thing ever. It felt so weird because it was very unnatural for me, but I had learned it until I learned to invite him all the time, which was, God, okay, I know I could go this way to work. I know I could take this way. what way do you want me to go this morning? Like literally little things. God, should I eat breakfast now, or should I just, go in, create, get some work done, then go eat breakfast? Like I was literally questioning. I was literally praying. God, I pray that I have a good day. As I'm praying on my way to work, I'm working, and I'm like, if I'm on the computer, then I'll stop. God, thank you for the sunshine today. It felt so unnatural because I wasn't used to inviting him into my schedule until it became a habit. And no, I'm not asking him what direction to go to work every day, but it had to start like that. And so just learning to be uncomfortable a little bit, and then I love the saying of allowing your heart to catch up with the words and the actions that you do. So sometimes it's like, God, I don't see the purpose in this. I don't know why I'm doing it, but I'm going to do it to create a habit and to see what's going to happen after, like to see the results and you showing up, because he does. He does. When you invite God into the routine, you're literally connecting with him every day. The way I look at it is like this, right? We have, for those who are in relationships, and for those who maybe even have friendships that you have to maintain, right? When you have a certain relationship with someone, you have to carve out time for that person. You have to be intentional with that person, or else guess what? It just feels like your roommates. It feels like you start to feel like you're strangers. You start to pull away from each other. You start to disconnect. So that's how it is with God. You have to be able to carve out intentional time with him. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Okay. Yes, sure. Y'all want to start off small, start off with a cute 5, 10, 15 minutes. But the gag is that the way that y'all be scrolling for 2 to 3, 4 hours, maybe y'all just click over to that Bible app just a minute. No, I'm joking. But I definitely think it's so important that we are able to be like in his presence and carving out time for him. Okay, just like we do everything else. And I know we be so caught up in our world that we're like, okay, it's easy to just be on your phone scrolling because it's just what we're used to. But I promise you, like, as I have started doing these Bible studies, and I know I post a lot on social media, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm not on social media like y'all think I am. I literally had to put it in my brain like, okay, Justice, you gotta post and you gotta get off. Like you have to post and you have to get off, because I'm telling you, I can't produce these and scrolling for 5 hours, scrolling for 4 hours or 2 hours. Like, no, I have to replace it. And I didn't realize how much I was literally using that time until I started trying to replace it with God. But it's just one of those things of learning to deny the things that you are used to and comfortable with, to be able to step into something that's greater that the Lord has for you. When it comes to letting go of time, so this is what I have noticed. Right. And I have noticed this within myself as well. So this is why I'm able to talk to you guys about it. Us as humans tend to attach emotion with time, and we have such an attachment that is so difficult that when we are being called to a new season, when we are being called to transition to something new in our life, we can't do it. It's met with a lot of resistance. And the reason is because of that emotional connection, where you have to kind of take inventory of like, okay, is this person serving me where I need to be, where God has me? Does God have me around these people for a reason, or am I being pulled away from my purpose? So let me explain. Sometimes people may think that it's friends, but it could be friends. It could be it could be family. It could be a job, career, your spouse, job. It's so many things, but I think because we are so emotionally attached to the time that we have given ourselves, because I'm telling you, I've been friends with this person for 25 years. I've been with my spouse for this long. I've been working at this job for this amount of years, for these amount of decades, but God has called you to move because they're no longer serving you and the purpose that God has for you. The reason why a lot of people feel so stuck in the areas of their life, right, where they feel stuck in their jobs, stuck in their relationships, stuck in their friendships, whatever the case may be. A lot of times people feel stuck, but honey, I'm telling you, you feel stuck because you're being disobedient. And I know you're probably like, girl, why do you always say this a lot? I don't know why every time I do a study that these topics come up, but they must come up for a reason. They must come up for a reason. Somebody needs to hear it. You feel stuck. You feel stuck because you are being disobedient to the calling that God has for you. If you want to be complacent, then you got to be complacent. But here's the thing, don't run and be mad at God about where you are when God has already lined you up multiple times to be able to step out of that position, but you choose to stay. As I've been on this journey, one of the hardest things I had to realize was that the clock belongs to God, not me. The clock belongs to God and not me. I am so used, right? Before I gave my life to Christ, was being able to be in control of every aspect of my life, right? I could do what I want, when I want, how I want. I can, I know what was going on, when was going on. It was one of those things that I really struggled with learning to let go. But as far as control, I loved it because it made me feel like I didn't have to worry about what was coming next. But also not understanding that I was creating so much chaos and stress because I didn't know how to give it to God. But one thing that I had to realize is that no matter what, Justice, no matter how much you are trying to be in control of the time, no matter how much you try to keep everything on track, at the end of the day, the time belongs to God. And when God says that it is time, it is time, regardless if you move or not. So November of last year, I had lost my Nana, and that was a real hit. During that time, I'm thinking like, girl, you got it going on. Like, work is going good. Your relationship's going good. Family's going good. Like, you're just up here living life. You're like, you know what? May have some hiccups here and there, but life is good. You get what I mean? And I just felt like I had it all together. And then we get the call. And when I got the call, everything stopped, right? And I couldn't understand why. And I think for a little part of me was also coming from a selfish place of like, God, my life, like we're doing good. Like, we're so good. Everything is going good. Everybody's happy. We're good. There's a lot of celebrations going on. Everything is good. And you just interrupted our lives with your timing that happened. I'm like, no, this can't. It was really hard for me to understand why God would even, one, choose that time. Why would God even do it? But I specifically remember this. I will never forget it as long as I live. We were on our way to the hospital, and I remember crying. I couldn't breathe, and I was like, in my head, I'm thinking, God, I read the miracles that you perform. I read the things that you have done. I read all the stories. I've seen miracles. I know that you're going to bring my Nana back. You tell us all we need is a faith of a mustard seed. I got a pumpkin seed. Like, I know what you can do, right? I know. It's not a faith of a mustard seed. My faith is here, God. I know you're going to heal my Nana. Heal her, God, because she did die. She did pass unexpectedly. And I remember speaking this out. And then a part of it I had spoke out loud. So I've read about you performing these miracles. Heal her, God. Heal her, God. And beside me, my sister, she said she was never ours to begin with. And that's when my world stopped. Everything. I have never gained so much clarity in my life that my Nana, a true woman of God, never belonged to me, never belonged to my sister, never belonged to my mom. She never belonged to us. She has always been God's child. She was his child first. And it had clicked with me that it was his time, regardless of the things that I would have done, regardless of what I would have done differently, that she never belonged to me. I felt like everything was good, and then it genuinely felt like I lost control of all my emotions, of all the things. And even when time stopped, we're talking about time, honey, time stopped. For months and months and months, I felt like my whole body was just still in that hospital. The only moments that I was reliving was us driving up there in that conversation with my sister, us driving there, us being in a hospital with her, flashbacks to when I got the call and I collapsed on the floor. It was just like these three things that just kept hitting me for months. I was like stuck there. Meanwhile, the whole world is going around me. Everything, the world is still moving. There's a lot of things that we don't realize why God do them. But it's also not for us to understand. Sometimes we will. Sometimes there will be things and reasons why we understand. But know that God's timing is perfect. And I think we get God's timing being perfect with good things happening, with it looking like rainbow and sunshine. And that's not the case. God's timing is always perfect, but that doesn't mean that you're always going to see the reason why he done it. But that's where your faith comes in. That's where your trust comes in. That's where your obedience comes in. That's where your love comes in. You have to be able to stand stronger with God, even when the world collapses, even when your world around you feels like it's falling apart. We live in such a society, right, that really runs on us being able to take care of it all, us doing everything. We live in a society where everything is fast paced, everything is convenient, everything is straightforward. But when you are truly trying to follow God, it takes time. You have to be able to slow down. I'm going to read this just as a reminder. And if you guys take a look at chapter 3 of Ecclesiastes, because Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1 is the first verse, and it says, "For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven." Okay? There will always be a season. Stop trying to control things that God never meant for you to control. Only control that God asks us to have is self-control. Do what you, self-control. Get in the Word. Spend time. Listen, if you don't understand it, pray about it. Research it. Do what you have to do to truly learn to build a relationship with God and to form your own understanding. Because guys, He wants to hear you. He wants to hear you. He wants to take you to where you need to be, to where you want to go. But it's our free will and desire. It will eat you up every time. Your disobedience will slow you down every time. You, just like in a relationship, you got to want more for you and your partner, just as the same with God. You got to want to know more, learn more, and be in His presence more. Guys, let's go ahead and go into prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for bringing me here in this moment. God, I know that as your children, we struggle with time, God. Whether that's learning how to balance it, whether that's feeling like we don't have enough of it, whether that's learning to let go of time, or rather if that's just learning to not be in control of the time. God, it's just something that we are all working towards, but I know that you are the Father and the way maker. And God, if there's anybody that is on the other side of the screen that is struggling with the obedience, with being able, that is struggling with the time, that you are able to heal them in that area. God, cover them and work with them and give them conviction on their heart as they are on this journey with you, God. God, I ask that this video had planted a seed in somebody's life, that they are able to really take on these challenges and take inventory of their life and see what areas that may need work or need you to intervene into their life, into their routine, God. God, I just ask right now that you shield and protect everyone, and that we are praying for this world right now, that God, we know at the end of the day, it all belongs to you. No matter what it is, no matter the materialistic things, our people, no matter what, we all belong to you, God. I just thank you for blessing us, and I ask that you carry us out through the rest of the week. And we ask all these things in your son's name. Amen. Bye, guys. I want to say thank you so much for watching episode 11 of Wisdom Wednesdays. Y'all, it literally went from like light to dark. So I kind of like that. But thank you guys so much. You guys are so loved, and God bless.